GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas have had a major presence in the games industry for about 2 decades at this point, and millions upon millions of players have experienced these classics in some form or another over the years. With the new remasters, many are going to be diving into the open world trio once more, while there will also be plenty of players that are relatively new to the franchise who will be experiencing them for the first time. As such, as you get ready to play the remasters here, we'll be going over a few basic pointers that you should keep in mind, especially if this is your first time playing these games. Cheats. Using cheat codes has been and will continue to be an important part of the GTA experience, and at some point or another, you should definitely try them out, because they genuinely do open up the open world sandbox aspect of the 3 games in major ways. It's worth keeping in mind that you won't be able to earn any trophies or achievements once you have activated even a single cheat, so make sure you create a duplicate save before you do that. Armor. GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas can push back against players with challenging firefights in a way that later games in the series don't do all that often, which means that more often than not in combat, you'll need every advantage you can get. Armor is one of the big ones that you should try and have on you at all times to get you that extra protection against damage. So whether you're buying new armor or simply finding it in the open world, it's important to have it equipped at all time, or as close to that as you can get. In Vice City, the top floor of the Ocean Beach parking garage has a body armor set that keeps respawning, so that's one area you can head to frequently to get free armor. Hidden packages. As you'd expect from any open world game, the 3 GTAs in question here each have a number of hidden packages scattered throughout their maps, and while they are completely optional, it's a good idea to keep an eye out for them. They count towards 100% completion, of course, but even if you don't care about that, they also provide material gameplay advantages every so often in the form of permanent unlocks for body armor, different kinds of weapons, and more. Side missions in GTA 3. There's no shortage of optional side jobs to tackle in GTA 3, and while many players will be tempted to just ignore them and stick to the main story, these side missions tend to have excellent rewards. Paramedic missions, for instance, have 3 tiers of rewards as you make progress in that line of jobs, including health pickups at the safe houses, adrenaline pickups at all safe houses, and, if you complete the whole set, infinite sprint. Meanwhile, do 20 firefighter jobs and you unlock a flamethrower at each of your safe houses. Side missions in Vice City. Vice City, too, has its own set of side missions for players to tackle that hold useful rewards. The ones you'll want to focus on first and foremost are vigilante missions and pizza delivery missions. Finishing a level 12 vigilante mission increases your max health, while finishing a level 10 pizza delivery mission will increase your max armor, both of which are valuable upgrades as you might imagine. Side missions in San Andreas. And what about San Andreas? Unlike the other 2 games, San Andreas offers players plenty of ways to customize your playstyle and upgrade skills and attributes. But of course, you do still get valuable rewards for doing side missions, like increasing your max health for doing paramedic missions. Firefighter missions are particularly useful because once you hit level 12 in that particular questline, you become immune to fire damage. Sprint in GTA 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 is a very simplistic game from a mechanics perspective, especially when compared to something like San Andreas, but it does have systems working behind the scenes that give it more depth than you'd expect. Sprinting, for instance, is something that you can actually upgrade. While there are no visible upgrades or a meter for you to keep an eye on, the more you sprint in GTA 3, the more you build your endurance, allowing you to sprint longer. So, our advice? Keep on sprinting. Sprint in San Andreas. Things in San Andreas are much deeper mechanically where CJ's individual attributes and stats are concerned. For instance, burglary missions open up early on in the game, and completing them actually yields crucial rewards, infinite stamina to be precise. This allows you to sprint, swim, and bicycle at high speeds endlessly, all of which can be incredibly useful. CJ's stats, San Andreas. San Andreas has in-depth RPG mechanics that are missing from Vice City and GTA 3, which is one of the things that makes this game the best of the three for so many people. And while none of CJ's body stats are crucial to making progress for the most part, they do have a noticeable impact on gameplay. Everything from your health to your stamina is affected by these stats, so our advice is to not ignore those. ZHAN, San Andreas. Every time you die in a GTA game, you respawn at a hospital, but you lose some money and all of your weapons. In San Andreas, there's a way to get around that. Head to Avispa Country Club and find an NPC named ZHAN. Ensure your body stats are high enough, and if they are, you can befriend her, which unlocks crucial perks like making all hospital visits free and letting you keep all of your weapons each time that you die. The Uzi, Vice City. There are several ways to get your hands on weapons in every GTA game. Many useful ones are often lying around, and while the best of the best are generally harder to find, some of the ones just lying out and about can actually be pretty useful. In Vice City, for instance, there's an Uzi behind the Pay and Spray at Ocean Beach. Seeing as that's close to where the game begins and in an area that's accessible right off the bat, it's a good idea to pick that weapon up and add it to your arsenal first chance that you get. The Micro SMG, San Andreas. San Andreas 2 has plenty of weapons just lying around in the open world for players to find, and while getting to some of them can be a little challenging, there are some others that you can just walk up and pick up. For instance, under the bridge behind CJ's house, you can find a Micro SMG, which is a solid weapon to have in your arsenal, especially in the early hours of the game. Shooting Range, Vice City. While not nearly as robust in its upgrade mechanics as San Andreas, Vice City does allow players to improve their attributes in some ways. For instance, heading to the shooting range in the ammunition stores can be pretty useful. Get 30 points in the shooting range for a $500 reward, but get 45 or more and you permanently increase your reload speed, which can be a pretty nifty upgrade. Weapon skill, San Andreas. Improving your performance with weapons in San Andreas is much more nuanced than it is in its predecessors. CJ has a proficiency skill with each weapon in the game, which increases across 3 tiers the more you use that weapon. One easy way to cheese that and get quick upgrades is to park a car in your garage and shoot at it. Then let the garage door close right before the vehicle is about to get destroyed. Then keep shooting at the fully repaired vehicle again and rinse and repeat. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below, and if you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.